How you doing? Welcome. Denzel here. Came to my channel. I'm glad you did. Okay. In this video we're going to talk about what is a savings asset? Why do I need it? How it can change my life? Right? And the purpose of it. Okay? So those are the three things we're going to solve for in the question, what is a savings asset? Why do I need it? What's the purpose of it? How can it change my life? Okay? So, diving right into it, a savings asset has three major components, in my opinion, for it to be a successful savings asset. Okay, so it needs to be liquid, because if I'm saving money, because that's what we're saving money. Okay, if I'm saving it, I need access to it in case an emergency happens, in case something goes down. Maybe I have an opportunity to invest in something, or I need to buy something for my business. I need to pay off a certain debt, right? Hospital bill, right? So it needs to be liquid, accessible. It needs to produce more money. It needs to produce cash, right? That's the whole idea. If I'm going to save money, I want it to grow. I want it to increase its value over time the more I save. Okay? And the last component is it needs to be safe, meaning it doesn't lose money. Very, very important. Because if I'm saving money in a vehicle that has the potential to make money, but on the other hand, it also has a potential to lose money, I have to factor that into my risk, right? So, what if you didn't have to factor that in, right? Wouldn't that be effective, right? Wouldn't that be better, safer, liquid, produces cash, right? Those are the three main components when we're talking about what is a savings asset. So that's what it is. Now, why do you need it? Well, if you want to do anything in this life, you need money, okay? You have a purpose in life, you have a mission, you have a passion, a vision, a dream, a goal, right? It does take money. Money is a tool that answers all things to get us to that, mission, that purpose in life that we are seeking to accomplish, right? So money is just a tool. We need to learn how to use it properly, right? A savings asset is a very vital component of money, okay? Now, that was the why should I need it, right? Cool. Now, the purpose of a savings asset is for protection, right? Key. It's protection. It's protecting you in the event that you are not able personally, physically, to produce any more income for a temporary period of time, or it is protection from job loss, right? Protection from a bad investment deal, a bad opportunity, a good opportunity that went bad, right? All different types of different scenarios. Those are just a few. But the main purpose of a savings asset is protection. Okay? So now that we know what a savings asset is, meaning like the definition of it, like what the three components that it needs to have, we know why we need it, right? It's for protection. Now, how can it change your life? Okay, so that's where I want to dive into this bottom portion here, which is what is the actual savings asset? How can it change my life for the better? Okay, so when you think of the word protection, the first thing that comes to my mind, and the first thing that should come to your mind, is the word insurance. Okay, and if you watched any of my videos, you know how passionate I am about personal finance, but also the history of money, and showing people the three major concepts that have never failed when it comes to money, right? Which are insurance, banking, and real estate. These are money concepts that have never failed, that are the largest in terms of, cash, assets, right? It's the biggest players in the world: the insurance companies, the banking industry, and the real estate, right? These are vital things in anyone's financial success in whatever industry they are in. Okay? So, protection is insurance, right? Insurance is something that is liquid, it's safe, right? And produces cash, right? But I wrote down here tax-free growth, right? Which is another way of saying it produces cash. So did it follow the top three here? Sure it did. So now it's qualified for a savings asset. It met the criteria. Now, the second thing is, what type of insurance do I need to have to satisfy these three things so that it becomes a savings asset? Okay, so there's a lot of different products out there, and I encourage everyone to get some information on every single one of them to a certain degree. All right, there's many out there that, in my opinion, are traps, right? That hinder you or delay you from the treasure, right? Like the real thing, like the what the wealthy people are really, what they really have, what the banks, what the major institutions, what they really have, and how, someone at a much lower, financial level can still apply and acquire, right, in their lifetime. So, we've got all types of insurance products for all different things, like, auto, home, fire, tornado, hurricane insurance, health insurance, right, life insurance. There's all different things, okay? So when we're talking about an insurance, which is protection that has the components of a savings asset, okay, what I'm referring to, what I want, what is most effective to satisfy these three things right here, right, is called whole life insurance. Okay, why? Why did I pick that? Well, if we look at history, okay, history can tell us everything, right? Whole life insurance is one of the first insurance products to ever exist, right? After whole life, we got into term life. Before whole life was just fire insurance, right? Back in those days, all the, the buildings and structures were pretty much made out of wood, right? So that was like the main thing. And then it went into insuring an individual's life, right, for their whole life, okay? And then as we progressed, then we started creating term life, right? And then when the stock market came out, right, they tried to merge the two and create variable whole life, or indexed universal whole life, or universal whole life, right? So, you go back and you see, well, if insurance, banking, and real estate have never failed, okay, if insurance whole life has been around longer than the IRS, longer than the Federal Reserve, longer than the stock market itself, that should ring a bell. Like, whoa, maybe that is, the most effective product for me to acquire, right, as a savings asset. Okay, so I just did my history. I looked back. I figured, you know what? IUL didn't start till 1990, 1997, so that's only 20, 30 years in, right? Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Chase, Citigroup have been around longer than IUL, so have major corporations and institutions that have been around for over 100+ years. So if that's the case, what does Bank of America have? What does Chase have? What does JP Morgan have? What does Citigroup have? TD Bank? Am I getting somewhere? Can I go deeper? Okay? If they didn't have, the stock market or and other investment opportunities inside of the stock market, or IULs, variables, universal life, right? If those things weren't even in existence yet, what were they using? Oh, I got the answer right there. Boom. In fact, in their terms, it's called BOLI and COLI. So bank-owned life insurance policies and corporate-owned life insurance policies. All right. So that helps, right? Knowing your history, you can, get all, boom, find the right one, right? Like finding the right girl, right? Or finding the right man, right? Sometimes you gotta go through all the other ones and then you're like, boom, that's the one. Yeah, why? Oh, well, if I look at my history, I know who I am, right? I know what I want. I know my purpose in life. I know where I'm going. This person matches that. Oh, okay, great. Same thing with your money, right? When you know what you want, right? When you know your history, when you know how money works, right? When you know how the banks do it, how major banks and corporations do it, you find the answer, right? All right, so whole life, okay? Or in other words, it's called dividend paying whole life insurance, which is a safe vehicle. The money that you put in that you're saving is liquid. It's accessible. I can grab it at any time. It produces cash. Not only does it produce cash, it produces it tax-free. Why? Again, the IRS, 1913, started. Whole life has already been in place for about 3 or 4, maybe 5 decades already. So the IRS looks at whole life insurance as a tax advantage, right? As an asset, not an investment. Okay? When you have that distinction right there, oh, that's a bit of a, you can use the word loophole if you want, but it's a tax advantaged product, right? And any growth inside of it will produce cash, which you never have to pay tax on. The money's accessible, right? I can use it to pay debts, to pay the hospital bill, to pay off the mortgage, right? Do all kinds of things, right? Very powerful. So I just want to cut it right here and just say, I hope I answered those questions, right? What is a savings asset? Why do I need it? What's the purpose of it? How it can change my life?